Nothing more to tell. Chapter 5. Bryn. Did you miss the hectic excitement of all of us getting ready at the same time in the morning? I asked my Uncle Nick the Tuesday after New Year's Day, stepping over his outstretched legs in the kitchen on my way to the coffee pot. He yawns and rubs his rust-colored stubble on his chin, which he hasn't had a chance to shave yet, since Ellie is still in the bathroom. We've been back in Sturgis for more than 3 weeks, but with school starting today, it's the first time everyone in the house has been on the same schedule. No, did you guys multiply overnight? I swear there were 2 girls when I went to sleep, and at least 4 fighting over my bathroom this morning. Our bathroom, I remind him, draining the last of the coffee, then turn for the refrigerator until I'm stopped short by Uncle Nick's outstretched hands. You weren't about to take the last of the coffee without replacing it, were you? He asks in a tone that aims for forbidding, but he doesn't quite pull it off. He pushes his Buddy Holly glasses up his nose and adds, There are rules in this house. I took past him and opened the refrigerator and grabbed the half and half. Your rules are not my rules, beloved uncle. Then my coffee is not your coffee, cherished niece. Give it back. Too late. I pour a healthy drop of cream into my coffee and hold it up. This coffee is no longer lactose-free. You're the worst, he says with a long-suffering sigh, and I stick my tongue out at him as I dash upstairs to finish getting ready. Uncle Nick is only 7 years older than me, and he's always been more like a brother than an uncle. My grandfather and his second wife, Uncle Nick's mom, retired to Costa Rica when Nick was in college, so he moved in with us. A year later, we left for Chicago, and my parents, who decided to hang on to the Sturgis house in case I needed to come back, asked Uncle Nick if he wanted to keep living here. He did, and for the most part it worked out, except that Dad spent a lot of time on the phone with Uncle Nick, nagging him equally about home maintenance and college, since Uncle Nick couldn't settle on a major. He tried coding, film studies, and political science before finally graduating with an accounting degree, which he's never used, because it turns out he hates accounting. Now he's enrolled in a master's program for teaching, and I think he'll be great at. He used to help out at St. Ambrose when he was in college, but Dad can't give him a break. When are you going to start collecting a paycheck? He asked Uncle Nick last week. I love my father, but he can be a stereotypical scientist sometimes, blunt to the point of being cruel. He doesn't realize how demoralizing it is to watch him dismiss someone who doesn't have their entire life mapped out by the age of 24. Uncle Nick is doing his best to put up with us, but he'll probably move out soon, which is yet another strike against the Sturgis house. I forgot how drafty and cold it is in the winter. How small the closets are, and the fact that the electrical system wasn't built for the 21st century. Every time I enter my bedroom, I worry that the chain of power strips I plugged into my single outlet will have blown a fuse. Not today, though. The laptop on my desk still displays the St. Ambrose website. I logged in last night to double-check my class schedule, and then went down to the rabbit hole scrolling through the old photos from 2017 to 2018 when Mr. Larkin taught there. After his death, the police interviewed all of our administrators and teachers, which made sense. Mr. Larkin had been last in his classroom, and he died in the woods behind St. Ambrose. Even Uncle Nick, a lowly classroom assistant, had to give a statement. But nobody ever truly questioned whether one of Mr. Larkin's colleagues had been the problem with him, any more than they ever suspected Shane, Charlotte, or Tripp. Stronger together, I murmur, my gaze lingering on a picture of our head of school, Mr. Griswold, pointing to a banner with the school model. Were we? Were we what? Glance up to see Ellie entering my room, a towel wrapped around her head. She doesn't actually care about the answer, though, because she immediately follows up the question with, Hey, do you have a white t-shirt? I forgot how see-through the uniform shirts are. My only clean bra is black, and this school does not deserve to see it. I get up and rummage through my dresser. Sounds like you're as excited as I am, I say, extracting a shirt and tossing it into her waiting hands. At least you only have to go to St. A's for 5 months. I have years. Maybe Dad will transfer back before then, I say. She sighs. Here's hoping. My phone buzzes and I pick it up from my rumpled bed to see a new text. Mason. Ready for today? Excited to have you back. I smile and send back a heart, feeling a quick burst of relief. Most of my former friends from St. Ambrose aren't there anymore, but Mason, Rafferty, and Nadia Ammon still are. And when I met up with them for coffee last week, it was easy and comfortable and fun, which is exactly what I need if I'm going to make it through the semester. Ellie is right. I only have 5 months, but 5 months is an eternity if you don't have anyone except your 14-year-old sister to hang out with, especially when all my friends back home in Chicago are blanketing social media with nostalgia already. Last winter break, last softball season starting up soon, who's ready for the last MLK weekend at Four Lakes, Sunup's coming for the senior trip. Izzy Jackson, Olivia, Sanjay, and Quentin are all going along with life like nothing has changed, and I wasn't ripped from our supposedly unbreakable group of 6. I know I can't blame them. It's not their fault I had to move. It's not like I expected them to start wearing all black and boycotting social events. It wouldn't kill them, though, to tag me with an occasional, we miss you, especially in Quentin, who asked me out right before the Sturgis news broke, and then immediately backtracked when he learned I was leaving. Long distance, right? Who needs it? He said. Fair point, but not exactly an ego boost. Changing my St. Ambrose uniform, frowning when my favorite gold charm bracelet catches on the polyester plaid of the skirt. The bracelet used to be Mom's when she was in high school, and I liked the randomness of the charms. A hummingbird, a skull, a shamrock, a star, and a snowman. These remain the cheapest uniforms ever, I mutter, smoothing down the thread that sprang loose from my skirt. And the ugliest. Ellie rips off her towel turban and grabs my hairdryer. It's a good thing you didn't have to go on your motive interview straight from school. They'd have taken one look at this prep school nightmare and sent you home. Accurate, I say, plucking my St. Ambrose blazer off the bedpost. Ellie plugs in the dryer and turns it on. Are you going to tell our classmates that you're spying on them for your internship? She yells over the roar of hot air. I'm not spying, I say, giving myself a little critical once over in the mirror. Ellie and I are both slight and shorter than we'd like to be. With a sprinkling of freckles and thick auburn hair, we have to straight iron into submission. We're near twins except for our eyes. Hers are brown like Mom's and mine are green. They're also makeup smudged, and I lean forward carefully to wipe away excess mascara. I'm observing. It's the same line I used on my parents, who were thrilled about the motive internships until I told them I pitched Carly on a story about Mr. Larkin. I want you to have every opportunity, Bryn, Mom said, especially after what happened with, well, you know. The dick pics remain a sore subject at the Gallagher dinner table. But you need to understand the potential impact of what you're doing. If a show about Mr. Larkin actually airs, it could be very disruptive for the St. Ambrose community, and for you. I'm already disrupted, I remind her. The move away was easy for our parents. Dad's been at the same biotech company for our entire lives, so he's still working with his usual colleagues. Mom's always had an own home office for illustration work. Most of our family is here, and a lot of their old friends. They didn't get fired, waitlisted, or splashed across BuzzFeed. Anyway, it's not like Carly agreed to it. She barely even agreed to consider it. Eventually, they gave their blessings and let me go into motive for orientation, but not before making me promise that, as Dad put it, I'd be ethical about what you share. I'm pretty sure he meant about St. Ambrose students, though, not with them. As far as I'm concerned, I don't need to share anything with the near strangers. I won't see them again after 5 months. So that's a no, then? Ellie asked, shutting off her hairdryer. She grabs an elastic from my dresser and pulls it through her still damp hair to create a messy bun. There's no time left for straightening. I'm just gonna keep everybody in the dark. It's a no, I admit. Ellie grins. Undercover, she says. I like it.